That's the last critical response that I have to bring up is it's an umbrella blanket statement of the slew of comments on Instagram, Facebook of people that probably have not taken the time to see the film. They've judged it before actually watching it. And these are most of the comments I saw. I'm gonna presume they are right-leaning users, but you have these sentiments on both sides where well, on the right side, there's this resentment for the call for unity. They assume that this is coming out now because, oh, now that your guy's president, now you want us to all unite. Well, it's too late for that. And then on the other side, I know people that are like, if you are still ignorant to the fact that Native Americans suffered injustices, or if you don't understand the plight of the black man and the history of that culture, at this point, I've washed my hands of you. Your ignorance is almost more offensive to me than racism itself. So there are these sentiments from one side to the other, and they're largely expressed in this on the social media sphere surrounding the movie. So I want to take the time to address that. And this is two questions. The first one is those voices seem to be the most vocal. On social media, like if you were to just live in social media, you would think the whole world is like this. But I'm wondering if you believe, like you guys have been across the country in the process of making this movie, do you see that on an individual level? Do you think that's an accurate representation of the country? And the second question is, do you think that this movie, or anything for that matter, could even begin to build a bridge that's long enough to stretch from that one far side to the other far side?
Yeah, I mean, so do you want to start?
I mean, sure. I guess the second part of that is resonating with me more in the sense of like, do we expect to be able to build a bridge from one extreme to the other? And the answer is no. I mean, I don't think there's any way that could possibly happen. Like it's really about a matter of. I will say, the optimist in me would say, well, look, we want to speak to all the people in the middle, and then those people will speak to their people, and those people will speak to their people, and eventually we might hit to all the way to the left and all the way to the right, and then it's like we've built that bridge. But that's not a realistic kind of like goal. I mean, sure, yeah, maybe that'll happen occasionally, but that's not the goal with the film, and that's not the goal with what people that are in this space are trying to do. They're trying to create conversation. It's all about conversation. It's all about bringing people together, having these conversations, exploring different ideas, thoughts, ways we can go about lives, what we can do to be able to like just make our worlds better for us and those around us. And then those concentric circles can spin out wherever they possibly can, and that's great. But the answer of being able to go from one extreme to the other, I don't think that's a reality for anybody to be able to really try to do right now. We want to we want to go out there. I want to listen to people on the far left and listen to people on the far right and use the best ideas from both sides to be able to make our country the best it can possibly be. But
Yeah.
you're not going to be singing Kumbaya with each other every step of the way. No, we can argue, we can, fight, we can do all of those things. That's where positive, good ideas come from.
Mm-hmm.
And I would,
Yeah.
and I would, to answer the first part of the question, like, is the social media response kind of indicative of what everyday people are saying? I would say yes and no, in that, like, I think there is a large majority of people that are receptive, that are open, that are engaged in dialogue, that are just not outright rejecting the idea of a movie on unity. Like, a lot of people are watching the film, a lot of people have responded well to the film, and then you have this other camp, which I don't know is 20% of people, 30% of people, whatever it is, who are just outright rejecting the idea of unity. On the left, it's about, oh, like, are you asking me to suddenly excuse an insurrection? And on the right, it's about, well, you, like, demon rats is the one that I was called the other day. You demon rats are like asking for unity after a 4-year witch hunt or whatever it is. I don't think those comments are reflective of the kind of average person, but I do think that there are a large number of people on either end of the spectrum that are just not willing to listen right now. And I think that kind of speaks to two things. It speaks to, number one, the moment that we're in and how relevant this movie is for this moment. I mean, if you have literal people who are like, I'm so angry right now that I don't even want to have a conversation, that's how divided the country is, then of course you need a movie about how you fix that problem, right? So I think that's the kind of first thing. And then the second thing is, I would say that those are the people that need to see it the most. You know what I mean? Like, why are you rejecting something because, you know, without even understanding really what it is? Like, how are you so angry that you're not even willing to have a conversation? Like, that something, there's been some breakdown in the social fabric of our country and our discourse that has gone so horribly wrong. So I think from that point of view, it's a really interesting psychological case study. And, you know, who are these people, and like, you know, why are they so unwilling to even, you know, consider the idea of having a conversation? So I think,
Yeah.
you know, just
And if
some
we've been
thoughts
making
for
this
you.
film for 3.5 years, like, we didn't know Trump wasn't going to win this next election. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right, right.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.